Will I read these 20 books in 2026? That is the question. As a mood reader, your guess is as good as mine. Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Crystal and this is Books Forever After, where I sit on my floor and talk about everything and all things books and nothing but the books. Okay, so this is probably slightly delayed. I got distracted by reading a really good book by finishing it. I'll talk about that in my December wrap-up. Actually, probably my best of 2025. So there you go. But slightly delayed because this is number 2 of BOOKDAZE, day 2. So yeah, I'm already falling behind, as I probably suspected, because as soon as I put it out into the ether, then I don't want to do it. Just how it is. So yeah, it's just that week before, like after Christmas to the first of the year, is such a weird time. A very weird time, because there's a lot of relaxation, but then you just don't know what day it is anymore. But yes, I am so excited to have the days off because I worked so much this year. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to 2026 because I've read a really great, even though there's a lot of work and other things that happened in 2025 that kind of put me in a bit of burnout. I had a great reading year for 2025 and I really want to be excited about 2026 as well. So these 20 books that I'm going to be talking about are books that I hope to read. At this current point in my current mood, they have been on my TBR, something I want to read, and I just want to get to them this year as well. These are also physical books in my TBR collection because I want to focus more on my physical TBR as well. I enjoy having a TBR, a physical TBR, but I also enjoy making them a focus because I enjoy the reading experience of physically reading a book a lot more. And don't get me wrong, I do enjoy ebooks and using Kindle Unlimited in my library in that way as well. But there's just something about being able to pick a book off your shelf and read it. So yeah, that's why I love doing that. So these are the books focused on my TBR, my physical collection to focus on. Some of these you will see as a repeat as well. A few are ones that I talked about in my 25 and 25 for historical romances. So that was my previous version. If you would like to check that out, I will put that in a description box below. But that it was focused on historical romances, and I did that in the springtime because I wasn't really feeling it. I am not a New Year's resolution person. I think actually the winter time is the worst time to do any sort of resolution because we are kind of like bears in that way. The winter is more to kind of hibernate a little bit. And your mind's not in for renewal exactly yet. That is what spring is about, renewal, in my personal opinion. So with that said, I'm still gonna hop on the bandwagon to talk about these books because I still am just excited about them. And my goal, my hope is that I get to at least half of these. And I don't want to also restrict myself because I don't want to feel bad for not getting to all of them because I want the freedom of being able to mood read, but also when I'm feeling overwhelmed, these help me kind of center back to give me a better narrowed down selection when it feels like there's too many books in the world to choose from. So without further ado, let's just get in and talk about these books. Okay, so first I'm going to start off. I will put chapters down below as well for you to go through. The first half will be historical romances that I am excited to read. So the first one, it is Lady Isabella's Scandalous Marriage by Jennifer Ashley. This is book 2 in this series. So this will be part of my continuing HR series, and I'm excited for that to be a focus in 2026. And this one is a second chance marriage in trouble, so I am super excited to get to this one. I really enjoyed The Madness of Ian McKenzie. That was a great one, and Jennifer Ashley has already kind of become like a new favorite author already, so I'm excited to jump into this one and see how I enjoy it. Then next, I am doing a little bit of a switcheroo. I have The Proposal by Mary Balogh currently on my TBR cart, which you will see that at a later time for a little bit of a reset, but I'm going to switch it out with Slightly Married by Mary Balogh. Now, technically, I will be reading the 2 prequels before this, but I don't own them, so I'll have to borrow those from my library. I actually got recommended, I think from Therry, so thank you Therry, I have quite a bit of Mary Balogh backlist. I was able to pick up quite a bit of all of her series for the most part from library sales, and I just want to delve into her. So she will be a new to me author, and I just never got a chance to read her last year, and so I want to make this a focus this year. So I definitely want to get to this one at least, so that means I will have to read the 2 prequels before that. I don't remember what they're called, but I will put them on the screen here for reference for editing me to give a visual aid. So thank you. And yeah, so I have known nothing else about it except from my understanding from others talk about her, is her writing is very more poignant and emotional and meaningful and more character connected, which I enjoy as well. So looking forward to just delving into Mary Balogh, and I am going to start with that reading order. So thank you, Therry, for helping me out with that. And if I can, I will try to put that in the description box below as well, the recommended reading order that Therry conveyed to me as well. So thank you so much. So yeah, this is another one that I'm really super excited to get into. And then of course, Kerrigan Byrne. What would be a TBR without Kerrigan Byrne on my TBR to read? And this is How to Love a Duke in 10 Days. I just finished the Victorian Rebels series, and it's already probably one of my favorites of all time, especially the first and the last one. Just a masterpiece, and I love them so much. So it took me about a bit of 2024 and 2025 to get through all 6 books, because it's very difficult for me to just keep on going on and continuing a series. I wanted to savor it, I think really is what it came down to. So this is another one that caught my eye. It just says that she has a dark past and she needs to get married, and she wants to get married to the most wealthy eligible bachelors, and so she chooses the Duke of Redmayne, and he's seeking revenge, and his first step is to secure a bride to seek that revenge. So she proposes marriage, and things just go from there apparently. So I'm excited to just delve into another Kerrigan Byrne. I am cautious because I don't want to finish reading all her books, so I kind of want to draw it out because I don't think she's currently writing historical romance anymore, especially with the state of publishing. Again, feel like a broken record with that one with historical romance, but I think she's mainly writing historical mysteries, and so I'm trying to spread these ones out as much as possible. So this one will be added to my TBR. I don't remember how many is in this series. A lot of historical romance are interconnected standalones in series, so I think there's like 2 or 3 if I'm not mistaken. So as many there is, I will try to get to as much as her as possible. Right, and then next will be actually a reread to continue in the series. This is Goddess of the Hunt by Tessa Dare. I've really enjoyed this one. This is the Something Milkmaid series. Really enjoyed it. This is actually her first novel she's ever written, so I actually really enjoyed it. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings with this one, but I enjoyed it because it does turn into like a brother's best friend marriage of convenience situation, but it has a slight gothic edge that kind of develops in the second half, which I really enjoyed that. So looking forward to rereading this one. It was an instant 5 stars, and I think probably one of my favorite of Tessa Dare's as well. Looking forward to rereading this one and continuing on with this series. And then next is Lisa Kleypas. I've read, from my understanding, I've probably read 75% of her backlist. I never tracked how many I read back in the day, but I know for sure I probably read all of these that I'm going to be speaking of. Most likely not any of her 2 books. Like, there's a few that are out of print. They're very early in her career. Those are very hard to come by because they are out of print. And they have a lot of non-consent kind of issues and things like that. That's probably why she decided not to make them out of print, but I find it interesting that she hasn't decided to rewrite them, as apparently she's doing that a lot with some of her most recent novels and such, is going back and rewriting them to take some of the what could be perceived as questionable things out of her books. So with that said, one is Then Came You by Lacey Kleypas. This is part of the, oh gosh, I think it's the Cravens. I can't remember, but I remember the second book. Yeah, I think it's Dreaming of You with Mr. Craven, whatever his name is. I do remember reading that one, and I can't tell you at all what happens in it, but I just remember loving it. And so I'm excited to reread this series. Even more serendipitous is that B and the group of gals that was doing the Wallflowers read along are going to be reading this in January, so I'll be reading this very, very soon. Perfect opportunity to read this one, and I just love this cover as well. So excited to delve into more Lacey Kleypas. This one gives me a little bit of the Anthony Bridgerton vibes, where the sister is trying to protect her sister from this, I'm guessing, the hero and that kind of a thing, to an arranged marriage or anything like that. So that is what I get from the premise of this. It gives me that little bit of the Anthony Bridgerton vibes from the Viscount Who Loved Me book by Julia Quinn. So that series, Bridgerton series, is an all-time favorite. Julia Quinn is an all-time favorite author of mine as well. So I'm interested in just getting back into Lacey Kleypas, and I don't know how much of her backlist I will get to, but I think I'm just going to be along for the ride, and as much as I can. I mean, I have a whole shelf of hers for the most part, and I want to just keep on going back and reading them. I mean, again, The Magic is still my all-time favorite of hers, and yeah, I'm excited to just delve back into her. I feel like a broken record, but I'm just, she's just one of those comfort reads. Like, I just feel so just, I know I'm gonna have a good time reading. Next one is gonna be a new to me author. This is Sleepless at Midnight by Jackie D'Alessandro, I think it's what her name is, and this is this one. A beautiful, beautiful step back. I actually heard this one from Rachel Reads and Sings, and I just remember her raving about the first two in this series. So I do have the first two in the series. I think this actually was gifted to me by Becky, if I believe. So thank you so much, Becky, for that. This one is really cool because it has the twist of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein has just been popularized in society, and these ladies get super excited about it. So it kind of brings all sorts of mystery and shenanigans and whole things that pop up and how she meets the hero, supposedly. So the Marcus Langson. So this just sounds really fun, and really fun and hopefully sensual as well. It's just very romantic. So just excited to delve into a new author to me as well. And then next is Karen Hawkins, How to Abduct a Highland Lord. This is also a new to me author, and this will be obviously a Highland romance, and this has a bit of second chance in it. That is like my favorite trope. That and Marriage in Trouble and Marriage in Crisis is my two favorite tropes, as well as Childhood Friends and Lovers, which I think this one has a bit as well. So excited for this. I think they are warring clans, and they have to become a marriage of convenience or alliance. And then they used to know each other, sort of falling out, and has to drag him to the altar for a marriage of convenience and for their clans. So interesting dynamic there. I love the cover and the step back, so this will just be interesting, and see my first time delving into Karen Hawkins. And I actually heard about this one through Hope Volm here on YouTube as well. I think she was talking about this book at one of the times, and I was like, oh wait, I think I have that one, so I will definitely delve into this one. So super excited to jump into this one as well. Then next, I am probably having in the middle of two series already with Lorraine Heath, but why not add a new one? This is Scoundrel of My Heart by Lorraine Heath. This is the first in Once Upon a Dukedom. I'm super excited for the second one because that one is a kind of office kind of romance, boss employee romance between his secretary, who's a woman, and the Duke. So excited into that one. I've heard great things about that, but in general this whole series sounds really good, and I've heard great things about it. Another one to delve into it. I definitely will, in my greatest hopes and dreams, to finish my other two series that I'm in the middle of with this author as well, but I also just want to not let that hold me from delving into the books that interest me most for the new year as well. So this one will be on there as well, just for me to allow myself to read it as much as many books that I want that kind of just pique my fancy, that whole thing. And then the last two, this one is Lindsay Sands' Love is Blind. This one is just a standalone, which is so refreshing. I love historical romances because technically you could read them out of order, but there are those that you do have to read in order to get the full kind of context. Or you can see other characters within other books, but you don't need to read them in order necessarily. But it can be a little bit difficult to navigate at times. So I'm excited to have a standalone to read, and I've really enjoyed The Countess by this author, and excited to read this one. This one is where the heroine has to wear glasses and is forced to by, I think, her mother or stepmother to not wear glasses in order to look presentable or more attractive to others to get a husband. So excited for all of those kind of shenanigans. I know Lindsay Sands has such great humor and just banter and just a little bit of found family, just great characters in general that I enjoyed from The Countess, and so I'm looking forward to this one as well. And then lastly, what other kind of person would I be if I didn't include some sort of very angsty and emotionally heart-ripping romance, historical romance? And I've heard through the grapevine that if you want that, you need look no further than Sherry Thomas, and that is Beguiling the Beauty by Sherry Thomas. I think this is like a Beauty and the Beast retelling by Sherry Thomas, and what I've heard is that she writes some very angsty, emotionally, probably a little bit toxic romances. The hero kind of like an anti-hero almost a little bit, so probably some non-consent, I'm guessing, or dubious consent, I'm not sure, but I'm just interested in delving into her novels, and I think I have at least 2 in this series to read by her, and there's another series to add to the never-ending TBR, and I just love this cover as well. So those are the 10 historical romances that I'm going to be adding into my TBR for 2026. 5 of these will be switched out for the ones I've already finished from my 25 and 25 historical romances. So we're just going to keep doing on the cycling out of that. So now, the next 10, we're going to be talking about a mix here of fantasy romance, and a couple of dark romances that I hope to read in 2026. So the first one, totally going out of my comfort zone and reading finally a bro fantasy kind of a thing, which is The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. Now, Becca in the Books is doing a read-along. I forget exactly what it's called, but she's doing a read-along, and they're going to be reading this, I think, in March, or having a live show in March. So you have like January and February to read this. So not exactly sure when I'll read it, probably in late February or so to read this. And this will finally prompt me to read this series. I think I own the first 2. I do not own the third, but I will determine if I enjoy the first and second one before deciding on actually purchasing the final book in the trilogy. What I love about this is it's a very epic fantasy with these huge godlike monster creatures. You can see a dragon here as well, and just something that doesn't have necessarily a romantic plot, but maybe more action-packed, more found family, hopefully. We'll see how I enjoy it. I'm apprehensive because it's definitely something out of my comfort zone, but it's also something that I just want delve more into the found family and epic plot as well. So that's what I'm hoping to get out of this, and we'll see right along this journey how it goes for me. Now next, I definitely want to delve into more angsty, emotional romances. As always, that's just my personality, and I want to delve back into more of Kennedy Ryan. Now I'm still reading the Kingmaker series, so I probably will have to reread that, the 2, because I think I read the first one, but I never continue on to the second one. So I'll probably reread that one eventually. But this is the Grip trilogy. Now the first one, this is technically I think the second one, there's like a prequel that's very thin. So I have that one as well, Flow. So it's Flow, Grip, and I forget what the third one is. But all I know of is heard great things about it. It's been years ago that people were talking about this book, this trilogy a while ago. And I just know that it's angsty. That's all I know. Angsty and emotional, and it's Kennedy Ryan. So you give me Kennedy Ryan. I've always really enjoyed her. I think her most recent releases I've enjoyed, Before I Let Go was actually the first book I've ever read by her, so I really enjoyed it. I've heard mixed things about the second in that trilogy because it gets a little bit more women's fiction, less actual romance. So I'm apprehensive on continuing on in that series, but I am really excited to read this script trilogy, and hopefully I find a new favorite of hers as well. Next, this is probably my most discovered author this year that has, or at least I should say, cemented as a all-time favorite author, and that is Bedwyn, who is the dark romance queen. Now, this is a bind-up of 3 of the novels, so I think there's 3 bind-ups like these. So I ordered this off of the author's website and was able to get it signed. I got a little bookmarks and things like that. Yeah, so it's signed there. So super excited to delve into this one. I've loved the Shivers and Shadows trilogy, so I just read that this last year and just absolutely consumed it. So I'm excited to keep on going back into her backlist and just picking them up as I go along. So as soon as I read these 3, I will definitely want to pick up the next one in her bind up of those and order those from her website. This author is such a gifted writer. She kind of toes the line and goes past that line of dark and traumatic things, but she does it in such a way that it's not, it's done with care, and it's not done just to shock and awe you. It's done like she actually knows what she's talking about, kind of a thing. So it's really interesting, but at the same time giving you that delicious dark romance feeling, by also kind of keeping you grounded in reality as well. So it can be very, very healing to read this, and so read her books. And so any books you read by her, you have to understand that there's definitely going to be trigger warnings, so just make sure you go into those and read those trigger warnings so you can understand what you're getting into. But she is not for the faint of heart, but she's definitely one of the best writers I've ever read of her books, and just the most emotional impact ones as well. So this one delves into more of the human trafficking side from my understanding, and so this is going to be very interesting to kind of delve into and things like that. So I think the first one is Deliver Us, Vanquish Us, and Disclaim Us, maybe, I think is what the Deliver, Vanquish, and Disclaim. So yeah, 9 books in this whole series. I think they're probably fairly short, probably up to 300 pages, I'm not sure. I want to read that whole series of hers, and then hopefully if I have time to delve in more of hers. She's another one that I just need to take my time with, and I need to make sure I'm in a good enough headspace to get started on it. But she's definitely one that is it can be very, very healing, and I just can't recommend her enough, but I have to recommend to the right person as well. Alright, and what would be a TBR without Carrie Lake? And that is Nightshade. Yes, this has been on my TBR all of for 2025. It's fine. I never got to it. I got distracted by Anathema and Eldritch, her first gothic fantasy romance. So she is another gothic queen that I just love, and I just need to delve into her. So this is more of a very gothic, I think, probably past life time travel with angels, possibly. That's all I really know. Kind of gotta go in blind with a lot of hers. This is a part of a duology, which I also appreciate. It's not too much of an investment. I mean, these are chunky books to begin with. Most of them are probably up to 600 pages anyway, so it's nice to have a little bit of a reprieve that time. But if you want to be delved straight into gothic atmosphere, gothic vibes, gothic mood, and some romance in it, is just really good. It can be it's also open door, but it's not just, it's a slow burn, and the pace can be a little bit slower, and that is just because it is part of the gothic genre as well, is to give you that more atmospheric vibes. At times you just have to take your time and be with these characters and be part of that world and be very intrigued with the plot. So that is what I found with Carrie Lake's writing, and you just can't go wrong with her. So I'm super excited to delve more. If I can find as much gothic romance as I can, I will. Next is another reread for me. This is Raven Kennedy Guild, the Plated Prisoner series. I've read books 1 through 4. I haven't read Gold or Goldfinch, so I'm apprehensive, but it's been too long. By the time she got traditionally picked up, I had read her when she was indie, and then by that time I'm like, well, I feel like I need to reread because it's been way too long, and so that is me finally doing that. I'd hoped to do that last year in 2025, didn't happen, so I'm definitely trying to make that a priority this year just because I would love to just to be able to finish a series, and I really enjoyed it. She is one of the, at least so far through books 1 through 4. I've heard mixed things about the final 2 books, so we'll see. I'm interested to see how I feel about it. But I really enjoyed her Cupid series as well. Those were really fun, so I recommend those ones for a really good time. Why Choose Time as well. Just so much fun. This one is a King Midas retelling that really flips that whole premise on its head. Really enjoyed it. The character growth I've really enjoyed so far, so much in this book, in this whole series so far. Looking forward to rereading this one, and hoping I enjoy it the second time around. Alright, next is nothing angstier to me than a time travel romance, and this is The Surviving Trace by Kalia Reed. I actually heard this recommended from my Ever After-a-thon that I did in May for my historical romance, and one of the, I would say, tropes that we talked about, or that was a kind of focus highlight, was time travel, because I really enjoy time travel in historical romances as well. This can be, it's kind of like more of like a genre bending, because it can have more of a contemporary tilt, or more historical romance tilt, depending on, or even sci-fi. Like it's one of those genre bending ones that can be really fun, but I love it when it is a romance, and it's when it's done so well. It's also a great way for historical to delve into a time and get to learn as you go, with the character and how they're experiencing a new time, or new time in history. So I know pretty much nothing else by this. I think it has 3 or 4 books in this series. I was able to pick this one off on Pango books. If I like it, I will continue on to the next one. This one is basically, she delves back into time where the photo, she's actually married to this person, but he basically, like, a hate to love kind of a thing. They don't like each other. She doesn't know why, so she has to find out what's going on there back into, I think, 1912. So interested in reading another time travel for me. I really know nothing about this one either, so really just heard great things about it, and it was on people's favorites of the year, and so I love a fantasy romance, and I love one that is more on the like astrology kind of romance as well, and that is Heavenly Bodies by Imani Iru. I know book 2 is coming out very soon, or if it hasn't been released by now, I think it has been. So excited to delve into that one. I wasn't able to get the one with the Barnes & Noble exclusive with the sprayed edges by the time that I joined the hype train, or was convinced to purchase one, so excited to delve into this one this year. I really want to possibly delve into this one. I'm glad I'm delving into one that is at least with book 2 coming out. I don't know how many it's going to be into this series. I think maybe it's going to be a trilogy, but to be honest, I haven't really been following that closely. All I've heard is it's been people's favorites, and that's it. That's all I know. So this one is, and the cover looks really pretty, and it's a fantasy romance, and I've heard it's very epic and that whole thing. So an epic romance, that whole thing. So angsty, emotional, yearning romances, I'm there. So that is why this one is on my TBR. Another one is A King So Cold by Ella Fields. I picked this one up because Jess from Honest Fiction was talking about this one, and this is where it has a lot of betrayal, a marriage in crisis, and it's just a woman scorn, and it's angsty, the betrayal, it's a woman scorn, it's what you call it, women rage, female rage, that's what it's called, female rage, whatever. That's what I've heard. I think there's 2 or duology, so I think this is a duology. So if I do like this one, I will pick the second one up as well. I think I got the first one on Pango books, so we'll see. And this one looks like it would be a perfect winter read, so this might be jumping on to either a January or February. How big my January TBR is already getting is probably going to be February, but we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, I am excited to jump into this one as well. All right, and the final 2 we have, I love a good Greek god one, and that is The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. I saw this around. I don't think I heard too many people talk about this. I just saw this, like, I think at a store one time and just picked it up because I read the flap, and I also waited because I'm kind of getting sick of special editions, so I was like, wasn't in love with the sprayed edges, so I waited until they didn't have the sprayed edges anymore. That's just a side tangent of mine. I'm just getting a little bit worn out from all the special first editions with sprayed edges. Plus, it also gets weird smells sometimes from it, so it's a weird sensory thing for me, so getting a little burnt out by those. But anyway, this is another probably Hades and Persephone retelling from what I can understand. It involves the king of the underworld, so you know that's going to be right there in front of the line. This is definitely one I'm interested in, and I think book 3 is coming out, if not now, I think it's coming out very soon in 2026, so it's a perfect series to start binge reading, since I think it's going to be completed. From my understanding, I think it's going to be a trilogy, so if that's the case, then I'm right there as well, so I'm even more prone to pick it up. So we have that one, and then finally I don't know when I will read this one, but I think winter would be the perfect time, so maybe February or January, who knows, maybe even March, any month of the year, to be honest. But this is one that I know is such a big one. Next to Fourth Wing has been talked about so much, and I'm excited to read it. I just haven't picked it up, and book 2 has just gotten released, so I definitely will pick it up a little sooner now. And I have the new, like, really pretty editions, but this one is when probably April is probably the one that's ever going to get me convinced to read it. So I think she first talked about it. I heard it being hyped, and she loved it, and definitely wanted to pick it up for that as well. So this one is the Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. So if I like this, I will also pick up Brimstone, but I also own that one as well. So I think I will like it. These are one of the types of romances or fantasy romances that I just are, I don't want to say guilty pleasures, but I hate that, but it's just something that is just fun, CW, and just enjoying the ultimate escapism kind of a thing. So I really wanted to enjoy that. I hear there's a cute fox in here. This is a portal fantasy. I hear it's very atmospheric. There's different worlds where there's a winter land and then some like desert land as well. So really intrigued about that as well. So I think this first one probably has the winter realm in this one. So that is all. I am excited for that one. I hope to get to it. I want to love it, and I'm excited to read it. I probably just need that extra push or shove from April to get me to read it probably again. So she'll probably just push me to read it again. So we'll see. All right, so those are all the books that I will have as priority reads for 2026. Let me know down in the comments, which one do you think I need to start? If enough people comment on certain books, then I just will, that's gonna have to kind of force me, or even encourage me, I should say, to read those ones first. And I will perhaps, when I don't know what to read, I'll come back into the comments on this one and use like a randomizer or thing to see which ones I should read next, and maybe do a vlog about it, who knows. Let me know if you're interested in that. I also love to know, what is your book are you most looking forward to getting into in 2026? And if you don't want to comment any of those, but you want me to know that you were here, go ahead and comment a snowflake because of Quicksilver with the snowflake on the front. All right, with that, as always, I will have all my links down below in the description box, my Instagram, my Goodreads, and my Amazon wishlist. Don't forget to like and subscribe and to hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.